How many of you believe that selling anything, doesn't matter what, is about an exchange of energy between you and the market? How many people believe that?
Yes.
So I want you to get this in your mind over the next year, month after month after month. I'm going to be coaching you and how to elevate your business. But the first thing you got to understand is that selling is a game of energy. It's about an exchange of energy out in the market. And if you're not hitting your sales goals that you set for yourself, it's typically an indicator that you're not exchanging enough energy with the market. Money always follows energy. Money always follows activity. Money always follows circulation. Okay? So typically in real estate, we like to say that the market never lies. Have you ever said that to a homeowner before? They wanted to charge overpriced for their house. Have you ever caught yourself saying that? And they say, I'd like to charge, here's what I'd like to get on my house. And you know they can't get in that for the house, right? Because you're an expert. So what do you say? The market always tells the truth about what a house is really worth, right or wrong? Right. Well, the market always tells the truth about us and about what our value is to the market. And when we don't hit our numbers like we want to, the market is telling us something. Everybody with me? Now, sometimes we don't want to hear that sometimes we don't want to listen to that market. Sometimes we don't want to hear what the market's got to say. But when it comes to your business, the market never lies. The market is always determining your value to the market based on the energy that you exchange out in the market, okay? And so you got to get this in your mind that if I'm not hitting my sales goals, I'm not exchanging enough energy. Because if I'm exchanging enough energy, money's going to follow me. Okay? So money changes hands when problems are solved. The bigger the problem, the more money people pay to solve it. And that's really all real estate is you're solving a problem for a person. They don't like every morning they wake up and they go take a shower in the bathroom that they hate. Their kids can't play in the street because there's too much traffic. Parents don't like the subdivision they live in because they don't like the school their kids go to. Everybody with me? They got a problem. And now once they have that problem, they're going to start looking for who in this market can solve that problem better than anybody else. Who do I call to solve this problem? And that's how people think. So what we got to do is we got to teach you how to exchange very, very, very high levels of energy, okay? So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to help you get some focus and we're going to help you get some clarity, okay? And you're going to be able to kind of ride along with me because I'll go right through this handout and then month after month after month, we're going to be working on how to build your business. If I could get you one more deal a month, would that be valuable for you, yes or no?
Yes.
If I got you 2 more deals a month, would it be valuable?
Yes.
Okay?
I'll hug you.
Now, would you hug me? No kissing on me, okay? But you can't hug me. Listen, if you will do what I'm going to teach you, I promise you, if you will do what I'm going to teach you, but this got to be a vested partnership, which means you got to do your part. Everybody follow me? Okay? Now, when I leave, because I'm going to come in and coach you, and then I'm going to leave. I'm going to get back on that bus, and then you're going to have to not ride my energy. You're going to have to create your own energy. Everybody follow me here.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And if you'll do what I'm teaching you, we'll get you 1 more deal a month, maybe even 2 deals a month, if you'll just go out and try to practice some of the things I'm teaching you, okay? Now, we first got to get some focus and clarity. Now, I want every person in the room to write out what their dominant focus was for this year, okay? So this is a single, tangible outcome you would like to drive in a 12-month cycle as measured in 30-day windows. Now, typically this is a number of transactions that a lot of people have. Like I'd like to do 24 transactions, okay? Whatever your number is. Does everybody have their number they'd like to hit? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once you have your dominant focus, this is very critical to this equation of time management. How many of you have ever claimed to have a time management issue at some point? Okay? And that is because you don't have clarity between what is a high value of your time and what is a low value of your time. Okay? So I want you to think about this. So here's our number. I want you to put where you currently are. What's your current reality? How many deals are you at right now? If you came into this year and you said you want to do 24, where are you at? Because it's very important to know what day is it in the month, how many days do we have left, how many days are in September? 30, not 31. Okay? We also had Labor Day. Okay? So when you start thinking about this, you say, I got 30 days to drive this number. And at the end of 30 days, it starts back over at 0. See, you're on a 30-day sprint every month. So every day you need to know, what day is it? What is today? Monday the what? 18th. How many days do we have left? We got, how many? Some people saying 13, some people say 12. We got 12 days left, right? 18 plus 12 is 30. We got 12 days left. Here's how many you're supposed to hit in a year. So what's your current reality? What number are you at? Okay. Then I want you to put your monthly number. So if your number was 2, you put I'm at 1 and I've got 12 days left. I want you to get in the habit of every day knowing exactly where you have left. Now, this is not what you close, this is what you sell. Everything I track is what you sell in a 30-day cycle. So you may sell it in September and close it in another month. Everybody follow me here. Okay? So I track everything I sell because I got control over that. I may sell something today, but not collect. I may collect on it for the next year. But I sold it in a certain month. Everybody follow me.
So we're tracking pendings.
Okay? What I track is what I sold, yes. Okay? So you say, I'm trying to hit this number. Now, I'm also tracking what I collect. But the way my mind works is that if I got to do 24 deals in a year, I'm looking at how do I sell 2 deals a month? That's what I'm looking at. Right? How do I to get to my 24? Now, if I got 12 days left, this tells me something that's very, very critical. Because I can't do 24 deals in a day, but I can do something every day that gets me closer to doing my 2 deals a month. Everybody with me? And this is where your high value activity comes in. So I want you to think of this. A high value activity, we call that an HVA, is a money generating activity. Anything that will create new money. Okay, toward that number. That's our monthly number. Okay, any specific activity that we do in a day that will move us closer to selling 2 houses or 3 houses or 4 houses or 5 houses or whatever our number is. Everybody with me? A low value activity, okay, is anything that moves us away, okay, not money generating. Okay, so we got high value and we got low value. I know it's a high value if it's moving me closer to what? New money. I know it's low value if it's got nothing to do with generating new money. So give me an example of some things that would be low value activity that real estate agents get involved in a day.
Organizing files.
Organizing files. What else? That's good.
Looking at Facebook.
Looking at Facebook. Talking about the weekend.
I see a lot of people that plan so much, like create databases and lists.
Okay.
and
All right. Good.
On Excel.
So I just want you to think a high value activity is something that helps us generate money. In a given day, how many high value activities do we need to do? So here's my goal. My goal for you is to get you to where you're prospecting every day for a certain period of time. We prospect from 9 to 11 every morning. So what we do is we train from 8:30 to 9, which means we're coaching people from 8:30 to 9. And I'm going to coach you on a lot of things we coach our people on. How to make an outbound phone call. How to overcome objection. How to work a hit list. We train every day. Okay? And then from 9 to 11, we make outbound phone calls. How many people in this room are prospecting for 2 hours a day right now? Okay? So this is typical of almost every real estate room I've ever walked into in my life. Is prospecting high value activity, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So the big time real estate agents are typically prospecting a minimum of 2 hours a day. They time block it and they stick to it. Okay? The top agents I coach, typically every morning, they're prospecting for a certain time. Who are they calling on, by the way? Who are they calling? So when you think of new money, guys, I don't want you to think of new money. Can new money come from a strategic partnership? Yes or no?
No.
Can new money come from a past client? Yes or no? Yes. Can new money come from a current client we're going to sell something else to? Yes or no? Yes. Can new money come from an investor? Yes. See, new money can come from a lot of places. So from 9 to 11, what we do in our office is we're calling on new money. We're calling on new money every single day. Okay? And so here's what I want you to think. If I'm trying to hit 2 deals a month, here's what I try to do. I try to prospect in the morning, solve the world's problems in the afternoon. Okay, I try to prospect in the morning, solve the world's problems in the afternoon. Because remember, money follows what? Money follows circulation. Money follows. So most agents don't have enough money because they don't have enough energy and activity. Okay, so we can solve that problem right now if you got on the phones every morning for 2 hours and you made outbound phone calls. Okay, now if you remember the stats when I first came here, I said this. I said 67% of people use the very first real estate agent that contacts them. You remember that stat? They don't use the best one. They use the first one. Okay? I also said that every real estate transaction you do should be worth 5.7 referrals. But very few agents are getting 5.7 referrals, right? I also said that 98% of agents never call a customer back once they put them in a home. Okay? Now when you start looking at these places, you start going this question. How fast can we get back to people, especially when they're interested? When's the number one time people buy real estate? On the weekends. And you know why they buy it on the weekends? Because they're relaxed. They're relaxed. Right? Their mind's thinking. They're making big decisions because their neocortex is involved. So what if I inquired on Saturday but you didn't get back to me on Monday? What's the problem with that?
I've moved on. I've gone to some.
Here's the deal. I may not even want the house by now. Maybe my wife talked me out of it. Maybe we found another house. Maybe we talked to another real estate agent at the football game on Saturday. There's all kinds of things that can happen between Saturday night and Monday morning. Everybody with me? So we have a rule in my office. When somebody inquires, we send them a message right back then. Would you like to talk about it right now? Would you like to talk about this right now? Some people say yes. Some people say no, I'd like to talk about it on Monday. Okay? We get back quick to people because I know 67% of people use the very first person. So here's what I want you to do. So I want you to remember this. Low value, because I'm going to get you into habits. And one habit is when you're involved in low value activity during the day, I want you to know it. Like this is not moving me any closer to my goal of selling the house. What I'm doing right now. There's a time and place for everything. There's time to play. There's time to goof off. There's time to talk in the hallways. There's time to watch television. There's time to play on Facebook. But when I'm at work, I got one job, and that's generating income. Everybody with me here? And I'm going to spend time every day in high value activity. So I want to stop right here, and I want to just shed some light on one thing. What are your top 3 customer getting strategies right now? I want you to write those down in that space. What is your top 3 customer getting strategies that you're using right now? And write them in order. Like my number 1 thing to generate new leads in business is this. My number 2 thing is this. My number 3 thing is this. Now, here's what I want you to think. There's something you do that is the number 1 thing you do that produces new leads and new business. Okay, everybody got that one thing, right? Now I want you to write down out beside that how much time you spend in a given day on that one thing right there. Okay, all right, how many people are spending 80% of their day on that one thing?
80%?
80%. How many people are spending 50% of their day on that one thing? Now, here's what I'm trying to get across to you. Okay, we got to break your real estate practice in. I got into a discussion the other day with a property management person. He said, here's a problem, Coach. You see real estate agents as salespeople. He's like, they're not salespeople. They're not professional salespeople. They're not entrepreneurs. And I'm like, well, they're trying to make an exchange. They're brokering a deal, yes or no? They're brokering a deal. So they have got to see themselves as professional salespeople. They have a little business within a business. Their goal is to go out and do the same thing any business in America is, which is to generate a customer. You follow me? It's to generate a customer. The purpose of any business is to generate a customer. So I want you to think, because I'm an old basketball coach, is I have plays that I run to generate customers. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at those plays every day and I'm going, what's working and what's not working? Well, if I told you, and you were coaching me, and I said my number 1 way to get new customers is to be in front of people, speaking, coaching, promoting, Facebook Live, whatever. Would you tell me to go to my office and email people all day long? Would you tell me to be on the phone all day long? If you were coaching me, what would you tell me to do? You would say, get your butt out there and get in front of people, right or wrong? Okay? Well, what I'm trying to get you to see is this. You have a way that you get customers that works for you. If you say, look, I'm really good with my current clients, I get a ton of referrals, then a percentage of your day should be spent every day doing what?
Reaching out.
Spending time with your current customers. If that's how you extract business, if you say, look, I'm great one-to-one, all you got to do is get me in front of people, and once I get in front of people, I close more deals. I'm going to ask you one question. Pull out your calendar and show me how many one-to-one meetings you got this week. Because if you ain't got any one-to-ones, what's happening is you're telling me what a high value of your time is, this HVA. You're saying this is the highest value of my time. This is what I should be doing every single day to produce 2 deals a month. And then what's happening is you're coming into the day, and what's eating up your time is low value activity. It's got nothing to do with generating new customers. Okay? So how many people, what was their number one? Somebody give me their number one. Their number one thing they do to get customers.
iCalls.
Say again?
iCalls.
iCalls, all right. When do you make those calls?
Afternoons usually.
Okay, because that's when the people answer. Do you have a set time you make them every day?
No.
Okay. Do you think it'd be good if you had a set time every day?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing, I was with Rich Redmond a few weeks ago. Rich Redmond is Jason Aldean's drummer. He's been with Jason Aldean for 18 years. Aldean routinely makes 40 to 50 million, a year being an entertainer. And I asked Rich, I said, what's the number one thing you've learned from touring with Aldean? He said, look, Aldean does everything he ain't supposed to. Drinks too much alcohol. He don't eat like he's supposed to, and he drinks a lot of coffee. And when you sing, you're not supposed to drink a lot of coffee, right? And I'm like, well, what does he do right? He said, let me tell you one thing he does. He said, man, he shows up every single day. And he performs whether he feels like it or not. And he said the power of consistency in his life has made him one of the greatest country music people in the world. Now, this is what a lot of real estate agents lack, yes or no? They don't have the power of consistency. So some days I make calls if I feel like it. Some days I work if I feel like it. Some days I show up if I feel like it. Here's the difference between an amateur and a professional. It don't matter if I feel like it or not. You know why? Because my feelings, just because I got feelings, that don't make them right. Right? Now, last night, my wife and I got into a discussion. It's not an argument, it was a discussion. And my wife and I do a show called Living with a Monster. You can figure out who the monster is and who's not, right? And we do that. We're doing this show this afternoon, Living with the Monster, and a lot of people love it because it's my wife and I going back and forth, and she talks about what it's like to live with me and how hard it is to live with me because how focused and driven I am. And so she wanted to sit down and talk about the show, what we're going to cover this afternoon in the show. And she had created an email that was going out to some of our customers for an event I'm doing in Seaside, Florida next week. And she created the email, and then I went back in and added to the email. Okay, I expanded it. I added just a little bit of breadth to the email. Well, that hurt my wife's feelings. That I would go in, she spent 2 hours doing this email, and I looked at it and I said, well, there's a few things I got to add. I added those few things and I pumped it out to the market. Well, that hurt her feelings, right? So then she comes to me, she said, that really hurt my feelings because I spent 2 hours doing this, and how am I ever going to learn to do it if you don't teach me? And here's my point. The first problem is you listen to your feelings. Just because feelings are real, that don't make them right. Right? That didn't go over too good either. Now, but then I started to explain. I said, look, you did an unbelievable job on that email. Unbelievable. You got it 80% there. All I did was just added just a little bit more to that email because I knew a few things you didn't know. There was some context that you didn't know. I didn't have time to explain all the context to you, but you didn't know that context. Sometimes you just got to trust me here. And so here's what I find out. When we listen to our feelings, sometimes we get ourselves in trouble. Everybody with me? What if you don't feel like calling people today? What happens to your business? It's up and it's down. So if he says the iCalls are the number one thing he does, but he don't feel like doing that 3 days a week, you understand what I'm saying? You can't listen, the difference between an amateur and a professional is amateurs feel. Professionals show up and do it every day, whether they feel like it or not. There's not a person in this room, I guarantee, that loves picking up that phone and making outbound phone calls. I don't even like doing it. I got to get my mind ready for what my body's about to do. I don't like making phone calls. But here's what I know. That phone, at least today, will not call out by itself. And it won't put real estate deals together by itself. And it won't call people back and follow up by itself. Everybody with me here? So what we have to do is if we want to be professionals, we got to check our feelings at the gate. You follow me? Now, once I talked to my wife about all this, she's like, oh, I get it. Now I understand, but you could have explained that to me, all that kind of stuff, and then it was all wonderful, okay? But my point is, look, we can't always listen to our feelings. Because when we get our feelings hurt, this is what hurts us as real estate agents. We get emotional. Your job is not to get emotional. Your job is to be logical. I'm the one supposed to get emotional because of my money, my house. Your job is to keep me from getting emotional. Everybody with me here? Yep. So my point of telling you that is, how many of you think one thing you lack is consistency? You just lack this ability to just show up every day and do it whether you feel like doing it or not, okay? This is what's going to separate you from a lot of people. So high value to me, for him, is I calls. Now, if he makes a commitment today and says, look, I'm going to buckle down on this, I'm going to do it 5 days a week. You know, from 3 to 5 every day, I'm on that phone. Now, when I'm on that phone, that means I'm not playing around. I'm not sending things back to customers, not text messaging, not on Facebook, right? In my office from 9 to 11, we make outbound phone calls. If you were to walk in my office and say, hey, Coach, what about this? You know what I'd say? Get out. Get out. What are you supposed to be doing right now? You're supposed to be making outbound phone calls. That's all we do from 9 to 11 is make outbound phone calls. We ain't talking about nothing else. What is my operation people doing? Calling our current customers. So my operations director should be calling current customers, right? Checking on our current customers and asking, do they have any referrals for us? My sales team should be making outbound phone calls every day from 9 to 11. That is consistency. And I believe we'll sell something if we make that kind of deal. Everybody with me? Now, so number one is outbound phone calls, okay? That's a high value activity, okay? Give me another high value activity. Some way that you generate business.
Referrals from previous clients.
Okay, referrals. Now, here's the question. I love this one. But I would ask you, does every person know how many referrals that they're actually getting from their previous clients? Okay, so here's the model. If the National Association of Realtors said I should get 5.7 referrals off every deal, very few agents are getting that right there. Everybody with me? So why do we get so few deals off our current customers? What are all the variables that affect that?
Not following up.
All right, so if I sold you a house today and I represent you and we close today, give me a good follow-up system. What do you think I should do to follow up with you?
Call you after the close.
Okay, now here's a key lesson. Buyer's remorse on buying a house kicks in less than 30 seconds after signing the papers. You know why? What are they thinking?
Oh my gosh.
What have I just done? Y'all ever bought something emotional? How many of you ever bought something emotional and then got it and go, well, oh my God, what have I done? That's what happens when a person buys a house. So the best agents, here would be my philosophy. That afternoon or that day or pretty quickly after they sign the papers, I'd pick up that phone and I'd call them. And I'd say, congratulations on a beautiful home. I believe there's a difference between a house and a home. A house is made up of sticks and bricks and a home's made up of memories. You're going to make a lot of memories in that house, and I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way. Now, if it were me, I would find some way for me to get back in that house with them. You say, well, what could you do? Well, I could have a barbecue. I could do anything. I could come over and sit on the back patio. I could celebrate. I would find, because let me tell you something. When you have an intimacy of a person coming to your personal house and sharing something with you, does that stick with you for a long time? Yes or no? Yeah. So if I were selling houses, what I'd do is find a way to come back and celebrate that new house with them. Hey, it's on me. I'd like to bring some food over. Let's sit on your back patio and let's just celebrate, because it's a big moment. Because here's what I'm trying to do. I'm not looking at one deal. This is one of the gravest mistakes real estate agents all over the world make. They're looking at one deal. The reason this business can be so grueling and exhausting is you got to go out and get one deal. Then what happens? You got to go out and get another one. You got to go out and get another one. And you got to go out. I want to take that one deal and turn it into 6 deals. So what I would do is I'd call them right after they got in that house. Then I'd follow them up 2 days later. I don't care if they answer or not. Hey, is it Carrie? Hey, Carrie, this is Coach Burt. Man, just calling to see if you love that house. I know you're excited. Is there anything I can do to help you get in here, get moved? Then I'd call them 2 weeks later. Okay? I'd follow up 2 weeks later. Then I'd follow up 2 months later. Then I'd constantly find a way to stay in their life. So how can I stay in your life after I've sold you the house? What else can I do? Have a birthday card? And I'd call versus send the card. You can send the card, but I'd call too, because there's something special about sending a card. Okay? Now tell me this. If there's 200 people write on your Facebook wall, happy birthday, and they all just put happy birthday, and one of those people writes something special about you, which one do you remember? See, we live in a world where we don't forget things. When somebody just says happy birthday, I'm like, well, that was, kind of weak. That's it, man. That's all you got. I've lived 41 years on the planet. I mean, surely to God, you say, you know what I'm saying? I remember people call and say, hey man, you changed my whole life, coach. Just want to wish you a happy birthday. Somebody writes something special. So when I write a happy birthday on somebody's thing, write something special about them. Okay? It just takes a little bit more effort than just happy birthday. Everybody else said happy birthday. So one way is I go back on happy birthdays, but it shouldn't be automated. If I picked up the phone and called my State Farm agent right now, who sends me a birthday card on my birthday, and I ask him, when is my birthday? You think he knows it's my birthday?
No.
So I get some automated card from State Farm on my birthday when they don't even know it's my birthday. Now, how personal is that?
It's not.
You think that makes me want to go out there and tell everybody else they ought to be doing their business with State Farm? No, they don't. So here's the worst mistake people make in the follow-up. They automate it. A follow-up cannot be a bunch of automated emails. Nobody goes and refers people from follow-up emails that are automated. Everybody with me? Some drip campaign that somebody else wrote. So remember this. Day of, 2 days after, 2 weeks after, 2 months after. And then you need some type of way to touch every other month. Okay? I like customer appreciation events. I like pushing people. I like pushing people to customer appreciation events. I like a reason to call out. So I make up things to give me a reason to call out. So I do a lot of things where I've got something coming up in September, then I've got something in October, then I'm doing something special in December. Now, the reason I create these things is because I personally believe selling is about exchange of energy. So I love to be able to walk into my sales team and I love to be able to tell them, hey man, I've created something really cool and new. This will give you a reason to call out to all of our customers and push them to something. Everybody follow me here? So remember this, every relationship, foyer, living room, kitchen, okay? We're not going to the bedroom. Get your mind out of the gutters, okay? Foyer, living room, kitchen. Foyer, living room, kitchen. Every relationship I have is foyer. What does that mean?
You just created them.
Yeah, it's like hey, so think about this. A person come to the house today and they knock on the door and you don't feel comfortable with them, what do? Here's what you do. Don't you know what you do with a stranger?
You put your foot on the
Right? Hey.
I've got the baseball bat too.
Now what happens when you just, it's like, okay, you just come right here, but just stay right here for you. What happens when you deepen that relationship and you say, well, come on in, let's sit on the couch. Let's sit down on the couch and talk. Now they're in your living room. Okay? What happens when you say, okay, well, let's hang out and have, see, every hard discussion happens in the kitchen a lot. It's a deepening of the relationship. So I look at every customer relationship as they're either in the foyer, they're in the living room, or they're in the kitchen. And my goal is to always be moving them, to never let them stagnate. So I got Pat as a customer, and I'm constantly pushing Pat to a deeper relationship. Hey, Pat, I'm doing a customer appreciation event in October. Will you come to that? Hey, Pat, we're doing a pie giveaway on Thanksgiving. I want you to come down and pick up a free pie down at WEICHERT. Would you like apple or would you like pumpkin? You understand? Hey, Pat, we're doing a Christmas party for all my clients in December. See how I'm pushing Pat? And every time it gives me a chance to do what? See Pat and say, hey, what's going on, Pat? What's going on in your life, Pat? Who else do I need to be helping? Somebody else out there I need to be helping? See, this is a big mistake in real estate agent. I'm after 5.7 referrals. So what I do is I keep exchanging energy with the universe by pushing my clients always to something new. There's something coming up. There's something we need to be doing. There's something I need to be helping you. And an automated email will not do that. How many of y'all think you could do this part right here? How many people are not doing a good job with their past clients?
We could all improve.
Yeah, so it's transactional. Transactional means I can discard you. I used you as an agent, it's over. Never need you again. Never. Right? No loyalty between you and I. How do you build loyalty with a person? You spend time. You spend energy. So this is a place you could pick up a lot of business, and we'll talk about that as we get going. But okay, so I've got calls and I got referrals. This is high value activity. What else is high value activity? Give me another one of your strategies that you're using to get business. Okay, drive around looking for FISBOs, okay? Now, how many FISBOs do you pick up in a year?
I haven't been in a year yet, so
Okay, how many people pick up a lot of FISBOs?
I used to do a ton.
Okay, well, so that was a good strategy for you. Okay? So, did you know how it worked?
It was the follow-up.
Okay.
And it was the same time every day, Thursday afternoons, and I'd call the same person exact same time every week.
Okay.
So that it was the consistent.
How many touches did it take?
Average is about 7, but sometimes it would be less and you could tell by the signs a lot of times.
Right.
Like if it was handwritten and just kind of like stuck out there and they put 0 effort, it was gonna take less. If they
Yeah.
had put it on, listed it myself, made their own flyers, it was gonna take 10 or 12.
All right, so he said calling on FISBOs, for sale by owners. All right, so that's a high value activity. Give me another one.
Open houses.
Say again?
Open houses.
Open houses. I want you to write down a word on open houses. I want you to write down the word discovery. You're there to really discover what a person needs. And the only way you discover is by doing what? Asking questions. What prompted you to come look at this house? Yeah, what prompted you to come look at this house? What do you not like about your current house? Right? Which subdivision do you want? What attracted you to the subdivision? So you start asking questions and you may find out that this ain't the house they need. There's another house they need, right? But until I ask those questions, I don't know that. So I ask a series of questions to figure out what do you really need, okay? So open houses is a one, but open houses is just an activation event. Now what I mean by that is it's just a reason to activate energy. If there's no follow-up after the open house, then it don't matter, does it? So I noticed you looked at the house this weekend, didn't? Okay, and I always use like this phrase, it seems like you really liked it, or it seems like you didn't like it. Seems like you love that bedroom. Seems like you like the master bath. Seems like you love the kitchen. Seems like the only thing you're stuck on is that price. Is that right? Yes, it is. If you use the phrase, it seems like, it gets a person talking. So they'll say, yeah, I really love the house, but I didn't like this. No worries. I got 95% of what you want in another house at a better price point in a great subdivision. Could I get you there? Now remember this concept, always push people to something. Never end a conversation without pushing a person to something. Can I get you out here to show you that house? Would you like to meet face to face so I can really listen to what you got? See what I'm saying? Always move a person to something. Okay, and I like sending things and stuff. Oh, I wrote this article about 6 ways to get more money per square foot than any other thing. Oh, I'm always pushing people something. Let me send you this video. Let me show you this. When I send stuff out, what does that give me an opportunity to do? Follow back up. Hey, did you watch the video I sent you? Did you read the 6 ways to get more money for your property? You understand what I'm saying? I never end a conversation without pushing a person to something. Okay? Because I don't want to stop. I don't want it to stagnate. We're exchanging energy here, okay? All right, give me some other high-value activities. Okay? We're trying to generate business. What else can we do?
Hand out business cards.
Okay, to who? Okay, all right, what else?
Networking event.
Okay, networking events. What else?
Farming.
So, explain that one to me.
That's gonna be a geographical area or an area that you're gonna follow up with regularly so that they're your first
Yep.
thought when they think about real estate.
Okay. All right, anything else? Brenda, we missing anything?
Expireds.
Okay. What else could we do?
Sphere of influence.
Now, so they were asked one of the top agents out there in Denver, Colorado, who was in the ninja selling system, but he didn't practice the ninja system. They couldn't figure that out. Ninja's about movement. Like what I'm going to teach, what I'm going to teach you this year is about how to move with purpose. Like when I come into my day, see my day's already mapped out. You see how much activity I'll have in a day? Now when I do this much activity, guess what happens?
You're exhausted.
You make money. You make things happen.
This is This is the exchange of energy. So on the way down here this morning, I'm already working my hit list. I'm already calling on people to put deals together. Then I'm working my farm club. These are people who have indicated interest in my services that we haven't closed. Okay? Then I'm living on my top 25 customers. Then I've got my goals for the day. Then I've time blocked over here. Okay? I've already decided what my high value activity is today. So if Kim catches me during the day and tries to pull me out of this, which I think she could probably do, you know what? I won't let her. I may have a high impact conversation with her, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. And you know why? I've already decided what my high value activity is. Everybody follow me? So I've already decided I've already decided my day. I've already decided that my team is making outbound calls from 9 to 11. It's non-negotiable. I've already decided from 9 to 11 my operations person is calling our current customers to see if she can get referrals. I've already decided that on the way down here, don't matter how I feel, I'm going to be on the phone putting deals together. Everybody with me? Now, I may not put deals together with all those people, but you know what I'm going to do? It's that exchange of energy. We're going to sell something today. Okay? I got to get you thinking like this. I got to get you to get out of the mindset that I come to WEICHERT and I sit in my office and I wait on something to happen. And I hope something happens. I got to get you in the mindset that every day that I come to the office, I'm attacking the day. I'm calling on people. I'm generating. And I may not sell anything to Kim. But Kim introduces me to somebody else that I sell something to. Okay? I'm always pushing. And I'm saying, Kim, hey, did you know we're doing this? I'd love to get you involved in this. Hey, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm always moving people to something. So here's my point to you. When I hear a real estate agent say, I'm too busy, my first question to you is always going to be, too busy doing what? If you're not spending time getting new customers, and you're not spending time with your current customers, what are you too busy doing? And there is a song around this called Too Busy Being Fabulous. The Eagles sang it, okay? And it's, hey, so show me what you're doing today. Well, you know, I'm real busy doing this. I'm real busy doing this. I got to bring clarity to what it is you're supposed to be doing. What you're supposed to be doing is getting new business or spending time with your current business. And that's it. That's part of your day of real estate. That's it. Everybody with me? Everything else is low value activity. Everything else is low value activity. High value activity, specific, intentional activity that generates new money. So my goal for you every day is to do a minimum of 3 to 5 high value activities. That's a minimum. Three to 5 high value activities every single day. Okay? And I like to do mine in the morning and just knock them out. If I'm not hitting my sales goals, the 18th day of September, I got a lot to go, maybe I need to increase that. But every day, I'm making specific intentional activities. Okay? How many people, let's have a Vince Lombardi moment here. How many people will commit to prospecting in the mornings every week? How many people will make a commitment? Now, I do have a guy filming this back there, so you can't lie about this. Okay? I think if you just increase your volume and make outbound calls for 2 hours a day, you're going to sell something. You may pick up one deal a month just by doing that one thing. You with me? Okay, now we're going to get you better on the phone because I'm going to give you a script. I'm going to show you what to say. But the main thing is this activity, all right? Give me one low value activity somebody's guilty of in here. All progress starts by telling the truth. What is it?
Chatting with friends at the office.
That's right. This is a place of business. I want you coming to the office for one reason, energy. Feeding off each other's energy, okay? So you're not isolated out in the world. So you got accountability. That's why you need to be coming to the office, because that's what professionals do. They get up, they get dressed, they go to the office, they make things happen. You could say, well, I'll operate by myself, very good. I get it. Everybody can say that. But to me, there's an exchange of energy at the office that you can't get on your own. You can't get on your own if you're at home in your pajamas. You can't get that, okay? You can't get that accountability, all right? So low value, though, is I come to the office and I do what?
Sit there.
I just goof off. I come to the office because I'm socializing. I don't come to the office to get business. I come to the office to get, okay? So I want you to think about this. Make phone calls and then walk out and practice. Hey, man, I'm really struggling right here. Every time I got the same objection every time I call on a person. What do you say, right? Now, here's the deal. If she's done FISBOs before, how many FISBOs you done? Up in the front.
Oh, I don't know where they.
Did you do a bunch?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what do you need to be doing? Yeah, but what do you need to be doing if you're new to it?
Oh.
Talking to her. Hey, give me some coaching here. What do I need to do? This ain't working, right? The answers are out there. You just got to look for them. So high value, low value activity. So remember this. Prospect in the morning, solve the world's problems in the afternoon. Prospect in the morning. Because how many of you have spent time servicing your current customers and it's eat up your whole day trying to solve one problem and you didn't do one thing to get a new customer? And if I said, hey, what happened? Man, I was just so busy. I was just so busy today. You spent time with one person all day today. Okay, that's it.
We call it your goat and chicken lady.
Who?
Your goat and chicken lady.
Goat and chicken lady. You spent time with the goat and chicken lady all day long. Okay, here's the deal. Every day I'm getting, so there's not a day that goes by that I don't do my 3 to 5 high value activities. Does that make sense? On my days off, I take a day off. But every day I'm working, I'm doing my high value activities. Now, why are your high value activities different than your high value activities?
Our goals are different.
Okay, goals could be different. What else?
Your strengths are different.
Strengths are different. What if you're really good in groups? What if you're really good in groups? You need to be out in front of groups. What if you're really good one-to-one? You need to be taking one-to-one meetings. What if you're really good on the phone? You need to be on the phone. See, I don't know what your individual strength is. So what I need to do is I need to align my time and energy with my strengths that are in alignment with my best customer getting strategy. If you're great with current customers, you need to spend time with a lot of your current customers, calling on, checking on, how's it going? Who else do we need to be helping? Who else can we create value for? So there's high value and there's low value. Is there any question about high value and low value? Now, how do I know when you're getting very serious? Brenda should be able to walk around and every person should have some type of plan in how they're attacking the day. Now, how many people are coming into the day and they got a plan for how they're attacking the day? Anybody? Okay, what's on that plan? What's on that?
Well, I use this exact notebook, and on this side is the to-do list, and on this side is the contacts and people that I'm following up with.
Okay,
And then I have my notes on the side.
great. All right, so she's got a plan.
So I got everything.
What else is on the plan? What's on your plan?
I'm using the monster producer.
You're using a monster producer planner. So you got a hit list every day? Hit list represents what? New money. New money. New money. New money. New money. Sounds good, doesn't it? New money. I like new money, okay? Farm Club represents people who have indicated interest that we haven't closed. So minimum every day I ought to have a hit list and I ought to have Farm Club, okay? So let's look at where your little business is breaking down, okay? Let's go to number 2, diagnosing the missing structure. So now we understand the difference between high value and low value. We've made a commitment in the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that we're going to be prospecting every day from 9 to 11. Okay? And that's a big commitment. Now let's look at where our little business is breaking down. I want you to think of your business as a little machine. And that machine is either functioning properly or it's not functioning properly. Okay? And what I want you looking at is, where is my little business breaking down? Let's go back. The purpose of a business is to create a customer. Money changes hands when? When problems are solved. Selling is nothing more than finding and solving problems for people. It is partnering with another person. They have a problem and you have a solution to that problem. That's all selling is, okay? So don't complicate it. Money changes hands when problems are solved. Okay? So I want you to look at this as we have a business and our business is functioning, but there's little areas of our business that we got to go to work on to make them function even better. Okay? And I'm going to let you talk about where your little business is breaking down. All right, number 1, lead generation. All right, define a lead for me. What is a lead? Just give me a definition of a lead.
A name and a telephone number.
Okay? Any new opportunity is a lead. Okay? Do we know if it's a good lead or not?
No.
So I want you to understand something. Never, ever assume anything about a lead. Learn to walk into every scenario without any consideration. What I mean by that is don't, in your mind, predetermine good lead, bad lead, nothing. A lead is a new opportunity. Okay? Now, I want you thinking how many different ways you use to generate leads. Okay? So I want you to write down right now, how many leads do you think you get a week? How many leads do you get per week? Write that number down. Is that enough leads to get enough opportunity to close enough deals to hit the number you want to hit? Okay? So some of you saying yes, some of you saying no. Only you know this, right? So remember me going back and saying that selling is about energy, the exchange of energy? How do I generate leads? I want you to think about this. How many different ways do we use to generate leads? And is it working? So you may say, my little lead machine is not working like it's supposed to. Because if it was, I'd have a lot more leads, right? Money follows energy, money follows circulation, money follows activity, money follows, right? Lead generation. That's the first step. Now, when you're looking at your business, how many people think their little lead machine is not working the way they want it to? Okay? It's not because you're not getting enough. Now, what if you're not getting qualified leads? What does that tell me? There's some principles I use as it relates to leads. Like gravitates toward like. Association breeds assimilation. Progressive people hang around other progressive people. You follow me? Sophisticated people hang around other sophisticated people. Struggling people hang around other struggling people. Right or wrong?
Yes.
People with no money hang around other people with no money. Unqualified people hang around other unqualified people. That's just human nature. Like, gravitate toward like. So if you're not getting very good leads, okay, from your sphere of influence, it could be saying one thing. You need some new friends. Or you need to be hanging around in better circles. Or you follow me here?
Yes.
It's telling me, or because the clients you're attracting for some reason are not qualified people. Now, some agents say, I love working with first-time home buyers, and I know why agents love working first-time home buyers, because they don't give you any lip, and they do what you tell them to, right or wrong?
They don't know if you're doing a bad job.
They don't know if you're doing a bad job or not. But the more money a person has, the less they use the very first person. So the more money a person has, the more sophisticated they typically are, and the more sophisticated they are, the more they're going to push back on you a little bit.
Yep.
They're just not going to let you run all over them. So here's my theory. When I work with people who have a lot of money, they don't just roll over. They became very successful. So they will challenge me. They just don't do whatever you tell them to do. But if they're paying this much money versus this much money, are you okay with that? Yes or no? Don't get mad at your money. So I see some people go, I only want to work with first-time home buyers because they run around like little puppy dogs and do what I tell them to do. Yeah, and they're buying $100,000 houses too, okay? So how many of those houses do you have to sell to make a lot of money?
5 for one of them.
You follow me? Okay? So if you want to work with more sophisticated buyers, guess what you got to become? Because like gravitates toward like. You got to become more sophisticated. Right? So I want you to look at lead generation as our first little thing. We're going to come back to this. So number 2, quick response. How fast should an agent get back to a lead?
5 minutes.
Okay? All right, we got 30 seconds, 5 minutes. All right, if I emailed in on a lead for you over the weekend, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, right in the middle of you watching a football game, when do you get back to me? How many people get back immediately? Okay, good. Now, remember what's the stat? 67% of people use the very first person that contacts them. So you may say, this ain't my problem. Okay, this ain't my problem. I get back very quick to people, okay? So maybe my problem is check box number 1, I'm not getting enough leads. Okay, maybe your problem is I'm not skilled enough at selling. And we're going to work on this today because we're going to work on your explanation of services. It's like you're talking to a lot of people, but for some reason you're not converting these people. And so what that's telling me is there's something you're doing on the phone that is not that good. You follow me? You don't know how to ask the right questions. You don't know how to explain your services. You don't know how to close a person. You don't have confidence to close a person. You're not pushing them something new. There's something as part of your selling that you're doing that I'm stalling on you. Okay? Now, and I was coaching an agent once who sat in model homes on the weekend, and she had 43 people come to her model home one Saturday. And I said, how'd your weekend go? And she said, not very good. I said, well, how many? I looked at your numbers. It looks like 43 people came in the model home. I said, none of those people were interested in buying anything? She's like, nope, none of them. And I said, are you sure? I mean, 43 people took time out of their day to walk in that model home, and you're telling me that you don't have any leads from those 43 people. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. She got an attitude about it. She's like, that's what I'm telling you, Coach. And I'm like, here's what I'm telling you. You suck as a salesperson, okay? All right? Because if 43 people walked in my door, we're going to sell one of them something. You follow me? But in her mind, it was them, not her. If you've been on the phone today and you're talking to 43 people and you ain't sold something, either something you're doing's wrong, you're talking to the wrong people, we got to get you better at selling. Everybody follow me here. So you may say, look, I'm just not skilled enough. I'm not confident enough. I don't know what I'm doing enough. I'm not skilled enough. So you say, well, this is my problem. We're going to work on that, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Then we're going to break these down. What about overcoming objection? Here's what I would suggest to you. In real estate, most people have the same objections over and over and over. Give me the top 3 objections.
We're not ready right now.
We're not ready, okay? Now, I'm going to show you this year how to challenge people's assumption. So when a person says, I'm not ready, what do you say?
What's the cost of waiting?
Okay? What's the cost of waiting? I believe there's power in taking action. There's a cost of inaction. Okay? There's all kinds of things you can say. I believe we lose momentum every day we don't act. What about this one? Timing's not right. Ever heard that one before? Yeah, timing's just not right. Here's what I tell people. If I was waiting on the timing to be right, I'd still be a high school basketball coach. Because I would have never retired. My school went on to win 6 championships. After I left. I'd still be winning championships today. Right? And I'd still be making $60,000 today. So I created timing. So when a person gives me a little bit of pushback and objection, I challenge them. When is the timing ever right in life? Let me give you one. This house is just not 100% of what I want. What do you say then?
Sounds like you want to buy this house.
Say it again.
Sounds like you want to buy this house.
Sounds like you want to buy this house. Okay, all right, that's good. Now, where do you go from there? Carrie, come alive, man. I like this. It's good. Come on, Carrie. Come on, Carrie. Okay, so what do you say next? Sounds like you want to buy it. Well, what makes you think that, Carrie? I just said, it's not 100% of what I want. What makes you think I want to buy it?
That's a good question.
Nothing's ever going to be 100%.
Okay, so here's the perfect line when somebody says that. It's not 100% of what I want, okay? I think it's a myth in the world that we're always going to get 100% of what we want. This is 98% of what you want at the price points you want in the subdivision you want. I use my own personal house as an example. Y'all have heard me use this example. I live in a $1.1 million house, gated community, backs up to a creek, 2-acre lots, beautiful. There's only 6 houses in my subdivision, okay? I love it, but it is not 100% of what I want. You understand? You see what I'm saying? Because if 100% of what I want, little angels would fly in the morning and do all these things, okay? And I'd have a huge waterfall flowing into my swimming pool. And there's all, right? So here's what I tell you. Look, I live in my dream home, and it's only 80% of what I want. But I love it. Every single night I go home to it. See, that's a myth that you get 100% of what you want in life. Follow me? So when a person says, let's just keep looking because it's not 100% of what we want, you got to challenge that. The reason you came to me is because I'm an expert, right? And I'm telling you, I got you 95% of what you want in the subdivision that you wanted it, where your kids go to school they want it, right? We're not selling anything to anybody. We're giving them an opportunity. Here's the opportunity I'm giving you. I'm giving you the opportunity to get out of the house that you hate. I'm giving you the opportunity to live in a subdivision where your kids can go to school you want them to go to. I'm giving you the opportunity to have a bigger lot than what you currently have. I'm giving you the opportunity to have a master bedroom you always wanted. What more can I do? What more do you want me to do for you? So what I teach in objection is to challenge. I just want you to write out beside this one, challenge the prospect. This is not mean or aggressive, but I just don't roll over and say, okay, I agree first. Hey, timing's not right. I understand. But I found in my life that if I waited on the timing to be right, nothing would have ever happened. And then I tell stories. I tell a story. Okay? Not 100% of what I want. I get it. But isn't it true that that's a myth? I mean, very seldom do we get 100% of what we want. If I could get you almost everything you wanted, right? Challenge the prospect. You can't do that if you're not an expert, though. You can't do it, okay? So objection is a big issue. Some people just roll over, all right? Let's look at this one. Follow up. How many people are going 7 touches? These are all things we're going to be working on this year, by the way. 7 to 15 touches, 80% of the time, to convert a prospect to a buyer. Most agents are going, how many touches do you think they go? Now, why is that?
Because they're not really interested.
Anybody in here ask somebody to marry them on the very first date? Anybody been involved in what they thought was love at first sight? I have like 7 or 8 times. Right? I mean, I want you to think how silly this sounds. I'm telling you because this is how real estate agents think. Just because I inquired in today about a home does not mean I'm ready to shell out $400,000 or $500,000 to buy that home. I'm interested in talking to a professional. That does not mean I'm interested in buying that house today. Okay? What if you emailed into my office today and I said, and I told my sales team, just call them back this afternoon and sell them something that's $10,000. Sell my coaching program that's $10,000. But you've never talked to me. You've never seen me speak. You don't know anything about me. You've never read any of my books. Do you think that sounds a little silly? Yes or no?
Definitely.
So I believe this. You have got to jab with value. So I want you to think about boxing. People that understand boxing understand there's a science to boxing. It's jab. Okay? Now when you watch the Mayweather and McGregor fight, Mayweather has done that 50 times. You know what he knows? That there's a science to boxing. You cannot go in there and throw the right hook on the first, right? You cannot burn all of your energy. Well, selling is the same way. Okay? So what he does is he jabs and he protects, and he jabs and he protects, and he jabs and he protects. And then, after he wears that opponent down, then he throws the right hook. Well, selling is the exact same way. So you email in about a property, and I jab with value. Hey, Greg, it's great to talk to you today. Let me send you this. Take a look at it. I'll follow back up with you. See, we've been lulled into believing in real estate that just because Greg emailed in, he's ready to shell out $300,000 or $400,000 and buy something today. He's not. We're just starting the process. So he's not going to say yes today, most likely. We're going to have to jab him with value. So what I do is I give him things. Hey, Greg, let me send you this. Hey, Greg, let me show you this video. Hey, Greg, would you like to go out and look at a property? And what I'm doing is just jabbing with value. Okay? And then I say, after I've jabbed with value enough times, I say, Greg, have you seen enough to make a decision? It seems like this is what you want. If I brought it to you on a silver platter, would you take action today? Here's a question. If I brought you top dollar today for every person's house in this room, how many people would sell it today? If I brought you top dollar for it, how many people would say, I'd sell my house today? Now, just look around the room. You can create deals. You think you got to wait on the economy to create deals? If I went and found somebody who wanted your house today and I brought you top dollar for it, you'd sell it, wouldn't you? When I built my last house in Tennessee, I built it for $450, $480, I think. And the first week I was in it, a person pulled up, knocked on my door one day. And I come to the door and I said, yeah. And he said, you Coach Burt? I said, yes. He said, my wife loves this house. My first week in the house. He said, if I gave you $600,000, would you take it today? Now I just bought it for, I just had $480 in it. First week in the house. If I gave you $600,000, would you take it today? Now, how many people would have taken that deal?
How long have you been married?
I wasn't married at that time. Here's my point. You think selling is hard. We can create demand. If I brought you top dollar for your house today, would you consider? I have a condo down in Florida, and about every other month, an agent calls me down there. It's on the ocean. And an agent calls me about every other month and says, Coach, I think I can get you $320 today for it. Then he calls back a month later and says, Coach, I think I can get you $330 for it. And there's a number that when he says, Coach, I think I can get you this for it, you know what I'm going to say? Go get it. Go get it. If you think you can get it, go do it. Here's my point. It ain't hard creating demand. If I brought you top dollar for your house today, you'd probably sell it. But we don't think like that. A real estate agent's a deal maker. I'm trying to put deals together. You think somebody calls in, but here's the deal. It ain't going to happen on the first try. So how many people are not going 7 touches, number one? Be honest, all progress starts by telling the truth.
Not with everyone every time.
Now, I'm going to show you in the next exercise after we take a break, I'm going to show you how I know in the first 15 seconds if I'm going to go 7 touches with you or not. I make up my mind about you in 15 seconds based on 1 or 2 things that I say to you and how you respond to those 1 or 2 things. And if I make up my mind I'm going to 7 touches, then I'm going to go 7 touches. Okay? Most agents are going 2 touches at best, and they're giving up. Why? Because they think it's supposed to be easy, or it's been easy for them. So it's like, oh, they're not interested. Oh, they're not interested. Oh, they're not interested. They're interested. You just hadn't gone the distance with them, okay? So follow up, all right? 2 more, then we'll let you take a break. What about onboarding new customers and deepening the relationship? When I say yes, I am now a new client. Now, if you've been paying attention, every new client represents how many deals? There we go. Let's call it 6 more deals. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to learn to slow down just a little bit. And I want you to learn to really deepen your relationship with that client. I want you to, onboarding means I'm onboarding you to this relationship. I want to slow down and listen and exchange with you. I want you saying positive things about me in the market. And I really want the 6 referrals. So I'm not going to just treat you like you're a transaction. You're a person. You're a real human being. You got real problems. You got real insecurities. You got real fears. So if you're not getting a lot of referrals, this is the reason. Then let's look at the last one. Service after the sale. That means there's a touch system in place where you are constantly going back to people you have sold. So in my mind, that is personal phone calls, customer appreciation events, some way for you to keep pulling these people back into you. Everybody with me? Now eventually I'm going to teach you a concept called the top 25, and that's where you take all of your customers and you sum it out to 25 people that you loved working with, and they love working with you, and there's a love fest between you and them. And I believe if we will work this right, that you will get 3 referrals for 75 new transactions out of 25 people if you just do it right. How many people would take that deal?
Yep.
But something's got to happen for those 25 people to send you those 3 referrals. You follow me? So let me tell you, I'll close with this and we'll let you take a break. My personal real estate agent calls me every day. He takes me to breakfast every Saturday morning. Every day he takes lunch with somebody that is in that top 25. And he fights for these top 25 people like you can't imagine. So what he does is he goes out into the community, very similar to Huntsville, because I live in a market about this size. And he goes out and he builds 25 very deep relationships. Who with? Key people. He's got a key insurance guy, he's got a key mortgage person, got a key coach, got a key this. And he just circulates with purpose every day. Breakfast with this one, lunch with this one, afternoon meeting. Does that make sense? And what he does is he gets in the boat with those people, just 25. And those people love on him and he loves on them back. And the next thing you know, he's going to do 120 deals this year. And at one time, he was doing about 40 deals a year. He was stuck at 40. And he jumped from 40 to over 100. So he will personally make over $400,000 as an agent this year. And his number one strategy is this right here. He just loves on these 25 people every week. What can I do to add value to you? How can I help you? You see what I'm saying? And he does it with key people, and those people feed him referrals. So you say, how does he get them out of me? I have new members that come to my office, new team members. I had one from Mississippi. I had one from Ohio. As they come into my office, they go straight to my real estate guy for him to find them a house. You follow me here? He gets more than 3 referrals a year out of me, by the way. Probably gets 5 out of me. Probably gets 6, may get 7 out of me. But would you take 75 new opportunities out of just 25 people if you just work this? If you didn't do anything else this year that I teach you, and you get serious about that one right there, you'll make a lot more money. I call it the top 25, my 25 best relationships. And what they're doing is feeding me business. You with me? Like a little machine, feeding me new deals every year. I think you can make a lot of money right there. So when we come back, there's 2 things we're going to do. Number 1, we're going to look at where's your machine breaking down. And you're going to tell people beside you. And then we're going to work on your explanation of services. And let me tell you why. If I call in today and I'm thinking about buying a house and I get you on the phone, I want to know how good you are on the phone to A, get me where you need to get me, but push me to something. Okay? You don't let me stagnate, and you don't let me get off that phone unless there's some kind of something we're pushing each other to. Everybody follow me here. Okay? Just been a good first session for you so far? You having fun?
Very good.
They're like little attack dogs, Jack. They're like, rrr, rrr, rrr. Good. All right, let's take a short break, and then we'll come back and keep on going, okay? See, the reason real estate agents get a bad rap because they don't act professional. Right or wrong? If you want to be treated, now, I have a 5-year-old daughter. At some point, she's going to say to me, Daddy, I wish you'd treat me like a what? Adult. And I'm going to say what? You're not. You start acting like an adult, I'll treat you like an adult. Here's the deal. The reason real estate agents get a bad name is because they don't act like professionals. Professionals show up every day. Professionals make outbound calls. Professionals work a schedule. They don't dabble. They decide. Okay? Every agent I've ever coached doing more than 200 deals a year, listen, he or she treated themselves just like they were a doctor, a lawyer, an attorney, whatever. They were professional. They saw their work as meaningful. They didn't dabble in real estate. They got in that office and they run that business. You understand what I'm saying? They made a lot of money as a result of that. Real estate is a business you can make a fortune in if you will just treat it like a business. You're not just a realtor. You're a little small business owner, okay? You got to treat it like a business, and it needs a care, and it needs attention, and it needs time, and it needs energy, and it needs you to show up and be professional. If you don't show up and be professional, it can really, really destroy, it can beat you down. I'm just going to tell you. There's too many people competing for the same space. So this is something you got to decide, okay? All the big real estate agents have coaches, and you know why? They're ready to play at a much higher level. They're ready to perform at much higher levels. They decided. They're interested in their potential. So the stuff I'm teaching you, you know, it's not theory. It's you got to go do it, okay? So I want you to look at the person beside you and I want you to say, my business right now is breaking down in these 3 areas the most, okay? Because until we identify where my business is breaking down, can't fix it. Once we identify, we can go to work. So where is your little business breaking down right now? It's not working the way it's supposed to, okay? Tell that person beside you. Now, here's what I want you thinking. It came up in the back with my girls back there in expensive seats. Those are box seats like at a concert, right? Here's the question. When I was a high school basketball coach, mamas and daddies dropped their daughters off to me, and they all said the same thing. Coach, my daughter's got a lot of potential. Okay? She just needs something. What'd she say? What'd they need? What'd they say they needed?
Okay.
Discipline, structure, focus, guidance, accountability. Then I started coaching real estate agents, and guess what they needed? So here's what I would say to those mamas and daddies: is your daughter watching you reach your potential? And they were like, man, I didn't know you was going to coach me. And I was like, I will run your butt around this parking lot just like I do your daughter. But here's my point. Potential. Here's a question I ask people. How can you justify not reaching your potential every day? How do you justify it to your own self? Right? Don't justify it to me. It ain't my potential. Okay? Right? How do you just? That's my point is, you listen, potential ain't specific to kids. It's specific to you. I don't care what age it is. We all got more potential. So here's the deal. People who have potential, it's just kinetic energy that's stored until utilized. The way we activate that potential is we exert energy and force toward it, right? And it ain't because we feel like it, okay? I have a trainer that I work out with at 5:30 in the morning. Sometimes I do 2 a days with him. And I don't ever want to go, ever, including this morning. I don't want to get up at 4:30. I don't want to be there at 5:30. I don't want to work out. I don't feel like it, right? But when I get finished, here's what I say, man, I need energy. I need more energy. Because I got to go all the way to Alabama today, and I got to do a couple other things. And then I got to see my 5-year-old daughter tonight. Then I got to spend some time with my wife. I need more energy. To get more energy, I got to get up and get my butt in the gym and get. You understand what I'm saying here? It ain't about how I feel. Prospect ain't about how you feel. Getting on the phones, making outbound calls ain't about how you feel. Everybody like to be drinking a margarita at lunch every day. Okay, I get it. Okay, I don't mind every now and then. But what I'm saying is you got to quit dabbling with your own potential, and you got to decide that you're going to be one of the top real estate professionals, not only in Alabama, but in the whole country. Okay? That's only a decision you can make. You got to quit dabbling. That means consistency. That means you show up, you grow up, you deliver every day. Okay? Sometimes it ain't about how good you are. It's just about what kind of stick and grit that you got, right? I got a guy on my team that's never sold anything in his life. He's probably going to sell, I'd say, $50,000 worth of stuff this month, in his 3rd month, and he's not even that good at selling. But he's gritty. He's in there every morning at 7 o'clock. He's following up with people. He's making phone calls. He's listening to our sales manager. He's learning. He's trying to grow and get better. You understand what I'm saying? Just by pure persistence, he's going to sell something. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you is real estate ain't always about who's the best. It's about who will show up and decide. They're not dabbling with their career, okay? Now, if lead generation is the problem, I want to show you 4 things that we're going to be working on all year this year. Okay, because this is one thing. If you're not getting enough leads because you're not exchanging enough energy with the universe, you're not pushing out, and you don't have anything valuable to say. So every week, I want you coming into every week with the minimum of 10 people on your hit list. 10 people on your hit list. Now, I brought planners with me. If you want to purchase a planner, we sell those for $35. This is a planner I created. This is not an ornament. This is not a sit on my desk and look good. This is something I use every single day. So what I do every night is I map out my hit list for the next day. These are people I'm calling on. I picked up a new one today and you don't even know it. Because everywhere I go, I discover. Right? Everywhere I go, I'm asking questions. Who else do I need to be helping? See, what I'm going to ask Brenda is, what insurance people do we need to be helping in Huntsville? Who else do we need to be helping in this area? Because there's somebody we need to be helping. You understand what I mean? If it's valuable for you, who else would it be valuable for? You see what I'm saying? See what I do there? And somebody give me a name. Well, I know who you need to be working with. And what I do is I pull my little pen out and I go, great. What's their name? In today's world, you know you can get in touch with almost any person in the world. You know that, don't you?
Facebook.
Okay? Facebook, Twitter, direct messaging. There's not a person that I typically can't get access to. So I may say, who's the #1 person in this market, who we need, and I'll say, what's their name? And I write down where they're at. Then I'll go back and I'll figure out a way to get in touch with them. Who else do I know working there? Okay, how do I get in touch with them? What do I say when I get on the phone with them? And I pick up hit list people every single day, everywhere I go. And these are just new people. So I want you to think of hit list as people we can help with our services. Hit list equals help list. If we know money only changes hands when problems are solved, all we're doing is going out to the world looking for problems, right? How do we know what person has problems? Yeah, well, I didn't. Boy, so-and-so's going through a divorce. I didn't know they were going through a divorce. Well, that means they're going to sell a house, buy a house. Oh, so-and-so's kids are moving out. They're going to downgrade. So-and-so's moving to a new subdivision, right? So-and-so hates the subdivision they're in. I don't know any of these things unless I talk to a bunch of people. Everybody with me? So every day I get to my office, I'm working on my hit list. And my hit list means what?
Help list.
Help list. There's a lot of people I can help. So every week I come into the week and I say, man, I got 10 people. I'm picking up new ones every day. And so what I do with those people is I reach out to those people and I'm going to share something. There's 2 things I'm going to show you today. As I share my explanation of services. We call it the EOS. And we use an outbound script. Now, I will tell you, for a long time I didn't believe in scripts. I just didn't, for some reason it didn't click to me. I just didn't buy into it. I just didn't, because I'm a natural communicator. I've been communicating my whole life. I like people, I talk to people, it's easy for me to talk to people. But I realized when I started coaching a lot of people, A, not everybody likes people. And number two, some people don't know what to say when they do call people. And when they don't know what to say, Brenda, you know what that means? What they don't do? They just don't call people. That's called call reluctance. So adults have a lot of creative avoidance. You know what creative avoidance is? It's where I creatively find ways to get out of things I know I'm supposed to do. So I know I'm supposed to be making calls from 9 to 11, but I'm kind of nervous to get on the phone because I could get rejected. I don't have anything valuable to say, so I find other things to do besides making those phone calls. Everybody with me here? That's creative avoidance. Well, we all know that people that are really good on the phone make a whole lot more money. Okay, or face-to-face, or whatever the case may be. So I come in every week, and I have a hit list, and I write those people down, and I go, who else do we need to be helping with their services? And I pick these people up everywhere. Okay? I don't know if they got a problem or not until I make contact with them. You follow me here? But I pick up the phone, and I just call people, and I use this, I use an outbound script, okay? That's my hit list. Now, how many people think they can find 10 people a week that they need to be touching? Money follows action, energy, attention. So I'm calling people, and I'm looking for one thing. I'm trying to discover what's going on. Who else can we help? Okay, it could be, now listen, for you it's simple. It could be leads that you're getting through a system. That could be your hit list. If you're generating leads that way, if you're buying leads, those are hit list leads. Could be past clients. Could be current clients. Could be sphere of influence, right? I'm just calling on. Hey, I'm just touching base, okay? I'll show you what I'll do in just a second. I don't say touching base a lot. My farm club are people who have indicated interest, but we have not closed them. Okay? So these are people who have somewhere along the way told you, look, I am interested in buying or selling a house, but I have not taken action. Now, I believe an object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. That's Newton's law. Just like an object in motion stays in motion. So here's what I do. I take these people and I touch them 7 times. I call that $1 Million Follow-Up. I wrote a book called $1 Million Follow-Up. And it's about how you follow up to create a person to take action. Okay? Following up and going, hey, just wonder if you have any questions, is not going to get a person to take action. Hey, I brought you exactly what you wanted on a silver platter. What's stopping you from moving? Have you seen enough to make a decision? If you got to sleep on it one more night, you're probably not going to sleep in it. Okay? So I push people just a little bit. And I have fun with them. I joke with them. I can't help you until you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. See, I'm already preloaded with all the things I'm going to say to a person. You follow me here? So how many people right now have got people in their farm club that have indicated interest in buying, selling a house, doing a mortgage, doing something that have not moved? How many people got people right there? That could be money in your pocket if you got them off the fence. You do get that, right? So here's what I do. I push just a little bit, a little soft touch, create a little healthy tension. I have a little fun with them. I can't help you until you commit. Okay? So right here, if you come into this week, today's Monday, right? You come into this week and you work this hit list and you did a lot of discovery and you work that farm club, you should have things to do every day, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes. Now, notice this part right here, your past clients. In real estate, I would put these on my hit list, but you may have a strategy. So think about this. Today's Monday. I'm spending 9 to 11. And 9 to 11, I'm making outbound efforts. So my efforts could be I'm calling on new people to uncover opportunity. Could be I'm trying to work people that have indicated interest. Could be I'm loving on a couple of my past clients. Now, you say it seems like a lot of stuff to do, Coach. What if I just said I'm going to go after 3 or 4 of these? I'm going to go after 3 or 4 of these, and I'm going to call on 3 or 4 of these today. All right? That's all high value activity. Everybody see that? And I'm generating activity and energy. Now, if you work the top 25 strategy like I'm talking about, every week I try to love on 3 of my top 25. Now, I had a big top 25 event last week with a guy named Randy Houser. Randy Houser's a big country music singer. If you've never seen him sing live, he's got some serious pipes on him, okay? I don't know if I've ever seen a country music singer that could belt like him. And it is so powerful to be this close to him. Well, I brought my top 50 customers, and I combined with a mortgage company, with a title company, and another company, and we put on a big event. We had about 400 people at that event, We had food and drinks and Randy Hauser, and it was a big, big time. Matter of fact, I had way too much fun. I'm just now getting back to normal after that big time we had last week. Okay? Because I don't have that much fun that much, okay? So I had a big time that night, and it was a lot of fun. But here's my point. I'm always pushing people to something. Guess what I did the very next morning? Sent them all a video. Hey, this is Coach Burt. What an unbelievable event we had last night. The reason I do what I do is for people just like you. You understand what I'm saying? And I tell a little teaching lesson. Man, if you saw how Randy Hauser sang, you got a song to sing to the world, turn into a little teaching event. Now I could go back to all those people. Man, wasn't that a great event? Isn't he really good? Right? Who else do we need to be helping? Right? And so what I do is I'm working these people. So every week I'm kind of loving on 3 of my top 25. Sometimes I have big events for all 25 of them. And I'm constantly looking for reasons to deepen that relationship. Because I believe those 25 people could send me how many new deals this year? And in my world, that's $1 million more or more. Okay? So I say if 25 people can make you $1 million more, would you work it? Right? Of course you would. Now, when I'm doing all this activity right here, you think that's generating some energy, yes or no? It don't matter if I'm a mortgage originator, an insurance person. It don't matter what kind of business I'm running. I'm doing those things every single day. And that's generating leads for me, and that's generating interest. Now, let's talk about what you say when you call out. How many people have call reluctance so they don't call people? Be honest. Okay? So here's the deal. They're just people like you. They got the same problems you got, same issue. Here's what I want you to know. There is no such thing as rejection. Worst thing they can say is I'm not interested. Worst thing they can say is I'm not buying a house from you. Worst thing they can say is UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Who cares? Everybody with me? Who cares? Who cares? Make up. Listen, we're having a seminal moment. Okay, I'm just now getting warmed up, Jack. Okay, it's the margaritas from Thursday night. I'm just now getting my swag back. So here's my point. You got to make up your mind if you're going to be great at anything in the world that there is no such thing as rejection. I posted out this morning, 1 minute feels like eternity when you don't like where you are in the world, doesn't it? 1 minute seems like eternity when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not becoming what you're capable of becoming. Here's what I would tell you. There is no such thing as rejection. Some people will want what you have. Some people won't want what you have. So what? I'm only looking for people who are looking for me. Everybody with me here? Once I made up my mind there is no such thing as rejection, I'll call on anybody in the world. Anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care where they came from. I don't care what they do for a living. I will pick up the phone and call them, right? Because I believe in me. And if you believe in you, you ought to be able to pick up the phone and call anybody. Okay? I don't care who it is. And you should say, look, when you trade and do business, there's nobody else you need to be doing business with except for me. Because there's nobody out there who's going to help you buy, sell, build, or finance a house more than I am. Right here, okay? You got to believe in you. First sale you got to make every day. So what I do is I have an explanation of services that I use, okay? Now I want you thinking about yours because this is important. This is on your handout. People don't do business. People do business with other people that believe the same things they do. Okay? So I always lead with what I believe. I lead with what I believe. For example, I believe there's a difference between a house and a home. How many people believe that? I believe that everybody deserves the right to have a professional represent them when they buy or sell real estate. How many people believe that? We believe the same things then. Okay? So when I'm sharing my belief statements with people, when I'm on the phone, I lead with that. Hey, here's what I believe. I believe every person deserves the right to have a professional represent them when they buy, sell, build, or finance real estate. I believe there is a difference between a house and a home. I believe that it does matter who you work with as it relates to buying real estate or selling your properties. I believe this. Now, what I'm looking for is agreement. When I get agreement with another person, I am one step closer to being a partner of theirs. What if I said I believe in attracting business versus chasing it? How many people believe that? Mm-hmm. See? So here's what I want you to remember. When you're on the phone with people and you're making your pitch to people, you need to lead with what you believe. Okay? Here's what we believe. Because of that belief, here's what I do. Now this is very important. Because this could be where you got a big offer right here. Okay? What do you actually do? If I turn you loose with my real estate, what do you do for me? And bring it down to the ridiculous. I negotiate on your behalf for the highest money I can get you. I regulate your emotions. Okay? I get more eyeballs on your property than anybody else. Be very granular. What do you do? Okay? And I have a big offer. It's not uncommon for the people that I coach to get a 43% increase in their sales in the first year with me. Now, why would I hit them with that? Makes them think. So if I could get you a 43% increase, would it be worth at least sitting down and talking about it?
Of course.
Absolutely. See what I'm saying? So I routinely sell people's homes in less than 24 hours. I routinely get 6 to 10% more on the negotiations I have than anybody else in the whole state of Alabama. I get more money per square foot for new home builders than anybody else in this region. I sell a Fizzball house faster than anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what it is you do better than other people, but this is where you bring out the big guns and say, this is what I'm going to do when you hire me. When you hire me, this is what you're going to get right here. It's got to be big. And the reason is, people don't leave one relationship for another for this. They leave for this. Okay? And you got to make it so ridiculous and so crazy that they can't say no to it. And this is ridiculous. Of course, I'd take a meeting on this. Okay? Now, here's how I do it different. You got to know, how do you do it different than every other real estate agent that's out there? Like, what's different about you than them? Well, there's 3 things I do different than everybody else. There's 3 things at WEICHERT we do that's different than everybody else. There's 3 things that at this company we do that's different than everybody else, okay? This is how I do it different than everybody else, okay? Because you're probably wondering, right? Now, then I ask a big question. Or I say, here's who I've done it for. This is social proof. Now, if you've been in real estate for a long time, you may say, look, I've helped over 500 families in my lifetime. You may, if you're just getting started in real estate, you may say, I helped somebody just like you last week. Every year, I routinely put 40 families in homes. Over the past 10 years, 480 people have trusted me to be their real estate agent. See how I'm building that social proof? Does that make sense? And what that social proof does is it lets a person know, hey, you're pretty good. You're not a bozo. People can trust you. Obviously, if you're doing it for this many people, okay, then you're pretty good at what it is you do every day. And then I ask the big question. And this is something that's missing a lot. Can I do it for you? So we live in the South, so we do a lot of sales flirting in the South. What does that look like? What does sales flirting look like?
We just talk with them, but we never ask for.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's my card. Really like to work with you. If there's need anything from me, just, let me know. Okay, what I ask, have you seen enough to make a decision? I may ask, out of everything I shared with you, what piqued your interest the most? I may say, if I could do this for you like I've done it for all these other people, what would stop us from moving to the next round? And I'm always doing what? Pushing people to something. Would you like to look at a house this afternoon? Right? I got 3 houses on the market right now, exactly what you told me you wanted. There's one I highly recommend over the others. Would you like to go look at them this afternoon? Okay? Houses are moving typically. I'm not trying to rush you, but houses are moving typically within 24 hours in this market. If you understand anything about demand, supply and demand, right now there's too much demand and not enough supply, which means houses are on the market for a very short period of time. So if you think you want to move, then we need to go and take action this afternoon. See how I'm pushing you something? If you can't see it today, what about tomorrow afternoon? So what I'm constantly doing is I'm running you through this. Now, this is for a person that is looking at your services, and you get them on the phone at some point, you say, no, let me tell you what we believe. Let me tell you what it is we do. Let me tell you how we do it a little bit different than everybody else. Let me tell you everybody we've done it for. If I could do that for you, what would stop us from getting started? Okay? Now, because one of the assignments you're going to have to work on between now and the next time I see you is your explanation of services. So I want you to come out of the gate right now and look at the person beside you and tell them what it is you believe. What do you believe about real estate? How many people believe there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Yes.
Rich people know how to make money. Wealthy people know how to have money work for them. How many people believe that most wealthy people have real estate as part of their portfolio?
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like you do have some beliefs. How many people do believe that everybody deserves a professional when they buy, sell, build, or finance real estate?
Yes.
So we all believe the same things. So is there anything else you believe? Because once you get going, picture me coming down to the office today and I'm looking at doing some real estate business with you. After we get past the pleasantries and the weather and the football games, then I'm going to say what, Pat? Go. I came down here. I know exactly. I'm here to learn more about your services, okay? Now, you could say, well, we do this, 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 and this. Or you could say, let me tell you what we believe. And let me tell you why I do that. I believe people do business with other people that believe the same things they do. So the way I know if you and I are going to do business with each other is I lead with what I believe, and I look right at you to see if you believe it too. And if you do, we keep going. And if we don't, I say it's good to meet you. I know in the first 15 seconds. All right, so let me give you an example. Real estate agent not long ago, she calls in, or we call on her, outbound phone call, because she's indicated interest. She likes some of my stuff on Facebook, so we make an outbound call to her. We believe everybody needs a coach. We believe people with coaches make 3 and 4 times the amount of money than those that don't, right? We believe all the top agents have somebody coaching them, okay? First words out of her mouth, well, coach, I'm already pretty good. And I'm already doing 40 deals. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you could help me or not. Okay, now, so what do I know in the first 15 seconds?
She's not coachable.
She missed the class on humility, didn't she? No, here's what I know. She's not thinking big enough. Because here's what I said. What if I told you I'm coaching agents doing 180 deals? See, you're playing, in my opinion, you're still playing at a pretty small level just doing 40. Now, would you like to learn how to do 80? Like I've done for some other agents, or not? Because if you would, I can help you do that. But if not, just keep doing 40, right? But she told me in the first 15 seconds that she wasn't that coachable. I'm already good. What she could have said is, Coach, I'm pretty good, but I'd like to get a whole lot better. See, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, now let's keep going. What I said, I told my team, we're not chasing her. She wants to be stuck doing 40, let her be stuck. She can come to her own conclusion she needs us, but we're not calling her anymore. You understand what I'm saying here? I know in the first 15 seconds if I got a potential person or not. What if I meet you and you and I are going back and forth and I say I believe every person deserves the right to have a professional represent them, and I ask you, hey, can you cut your commission for me? Because I'm only interested in an agent that's willing to do that. What have I told you in the first 15 seconds? We don't believe the same thing. Here's what I'd say. Well, you're asking me to give you world-class service while also simultaneously asking me to decrease the amount of money that we're making. Do you really want an agent representing you that would negotiate down their own commission? You really want one negotiating for you that would negotiate down their own commissions? You understand what I'm saying? You're asking me to give you this, but you're asking me to decrease the amount of money I'm able to do it. How do you think I could do that? But what I'm really telling you is I just see you as a commodity. I think I can get you anywhere. You're saying you need a professional. I'm going, look, just any old real estate agent can do this. Okay? So you need to get clarity here. So look at the person beside you and say, if there's a few things I believe about real estate, what are they? Because once you get this down, this is going to help you be more confident on the phones. Hey, I believe this, we believe this, we believe this. Because of that belief, here's what we do. Here's how we do it different. Here's everybody we're doing it for. Hey, if this sounds good to you, and it seems like it does, let's go ahead and get you to that house this afternoon and go ahead and get you started. Does that make sense? Pushing to something. Okay? This is a whole lot better than saying, hey, I work at WEICHERT, I'm a realtor, and we'll put a sign in your yard. Okay? All right, take off. Practice a little bit right here. What do you believe? Now, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you out of the commodity trap. Commoditization means I believe I can get you anywhere. Okay? There's X number of agents. There's not a dime's worth of difference between one and another. That's how the market believes. And the reason I know the market believes that is because 67% of people use the very first person that contacts them. Right? So the way you get out of the commodity trap is you have something valuable to say. You are going out looking to partner with people who believe the same things you do. Okay? I want my real estate agent to really do 3 things for me. Negotiate on my behalf. I want a pit bull, not a poodle. Okay? I want a person who's incredibly knowledgeable, who can actually challenge me. If I get ready to buy something that I don't need to buy, I want him to go, Coach, I understand why you think you want to do this, but let me talk about these 3 things. I value that. I value a person who knows the real estate landscape. Like I looked at buying a big lodge not long ago, $1.1 million. I actually made an offer at $1.1 million. Big, nice lodge. It's going to turn into a wedding venue because people don't get married now at churches. They get married in these big, nice venues. So my real estate agent says, look, I can understand why you want to do this, but let me tell you some things you don't know. Number 1, it doesn't have a sprinkler system. It's going to have to be converted from residential to commercial. The planning commission may make you have another road that comes in and out of there. You're going to get in front of all the neighbors and explain to them why you're going to turn this nice lodge into this. I mean, he's like, before you shell out $1.1 million, let's just think through this. Because I'm a quick start. Quick start means I like bright and shiny things, okay? And when I see something, I'm like, yes, go get it, okay? So what he does is kind of bring me back down and go, look, I think there's a better use of your $1.1 million. That's the kind of agent I want. Because he just don't say, okay, now a rookie agent say, big commission, I'm going to go get this thing, right? His value to me is not in 1 deal, it's in 100 deals. His value to me is coaching me and giving me the pros and the cons and the good and the bad. And I begin to trust him and rely on him. So I believe that every person that's trying to build wealth at some point will have real estate as part of their portfolio. And when they do, they really need someone who's knowledgeable, who has shown a demonstrated capacity to negotiate bigger deals and can coach them. That's what I believe, right? You know, one of the things that came up here, if you got a lot of relocation, you said, what, 56% of those people are relocation folks?
With our company.
With the company, is I believe a real estate agent could be a connector to almost every service you need in this city. That means they not only help you buy and sell the real estate or whatever, get you relocated, they also introduce you to the key physicians in town, or the key this in town, or the key this in town. They can be a point person. The real estate agent could be a point person to all things that I need in this if I relocate to this city. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to get you to think like a person. Like I say, I believe everybody needs a coach in life. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe those that have a coach earn more money than those that don't. I said, you name 1 top performer you know that doesn't have a coach. And you're not going to be able to. So what I do is I build my case. And I say, because of that belief, here's what it is I do. I take real complicated growth and I break it down and I make it real simple. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Is there a limit to how many of those I believe statements that you should have?
Typically 3 would be a good number. You may say there's 3 things I believe. Bam, bam, bam. Because of that belief, here's what I'm going to do for you. Now, if you're trying to pull somebody away from another person, then you got to have a big offer. Okay, so if I'm really trying to punch somebody right in the face, I'll say, look, what I really do is get people a 43% increase in their sales in year 1. Right? How do I do it? System, structure, process. And I've been able to do that for X number of people. If I could do it for you like I've done it for them, what would stop us from getting started? At least taking a meeting. Right? Now, let's say your mortgage company, Bancorp South, right? I don't currently work with them, but I work with a lot of big mortgage companies. So if I'm calling the main person there today, I may say, hi, I'm Coach Michael Burt. I believe people that are coached always outperform uncoached people. I may lead with this part. I'm coaching some of the biggest mortgage companies in the world. And I'm getting them this kind of return. And I may have it ready, okay? Here's what I do with this company. What I'd like to do was at least at some point take a meeting with you to see if we can help you. Right? When I'm in Birmingham, when I'm in here, and I may give them something free. Hey, what if I come down and speak free at your next big rally? Just so you can be exposed to what it is. No obligation if you like it, right? I'm always pushing people to something. Never forget that. Okay? Because once I have a conversation with you, we're not done. I'm trying to get you to the next thing. What do we call that? That's that boxing. Jab. I'm jabbing, right? So I create things. Now, if I'm a real estate agent, I'm going to create things. Videos, one sheets, blogs. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna send you this. I want you to look at it, watch this video, right? Then I'm gonna follow back up with you. I'm always looking for a reason to keep this conversation moving. Can I show you this property? No, that's not available, but I got 3 more almost just like it. When would be a good time for you to go out there and see it, right? Can I meet you this week for 15 or 20 minutes to listen to your needs, real estate needs, so I can, right? Now, we didn't get to the outbound script today, but I'm just going to run through it real quick, and when I come back next time, we're going to get through that. When I make an outbound call, I use a script, and the script is real simple. Greg, this is Michael. I always use first name, not both names, not first and last name. Greg, this is Michael calling from WEICHERT Realtors. Is this a good time to talk? Now, a lot of people have debate about whether it's asking if it's a good time to talk or not, but here's what I would tell you. If I was walking in this door today to coach you and I had 4 minutes left and you tried to make your pitch to me, is that a good time to make your pitch to me?
No.
Because I ain't listening. So I ask, is this a good time to talk? If they say no, is later this afternoon a good time or tomorrow morning? But a lot of times, 90% of the time my sales team tells me, they go, yeah, it's fine, I got a few minutes. Okay? Well, let me tell you the purpose of my call. So I go name, company, permission, and then I tell you purpose. Let me tell you the purpose of this call. Looks like you emailed in and inquired in about this property in this subdivision. I just got just a few questions I need to ask you so I can really serve you. And I have those questions ready. What prompted you to call us? What prompted you to want to take action? What do you not like about where you're at? What I don't like the school my kid goes to. I don't like the subdivision's got too much traffic. I don't like my psychopathic neighbor that sits around and drinks all weekend and has a loaded shotgun, you know, whatever. Blah, 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 right? Whatever it is, okay? Great. Okay, then I move into what's called framing. And when I'm framing, I'm kind of positioning myself as an expert. So sometimes when I frame, I'll say, great, what I believe is this. The reason I believe it's this, what I really do is this. Here's some of the people I'm doing it for, and should we choose to do business with each other, what I'm doing is I'm putting myself in a position of authority. I'm letting you know, I don't know if I want to take you on as a customer or not, because you may be crazy. Okay? Should we choose to do business with each other, should this work, right, then here's what it is we do, okay? And then I start pushing into something. I don't go for the right hook right there. I say, hey, I'm going to send you this, okay? If you'd like to do this, let's go look at it. Then I kind of go into my pitch, which is this part. And then there's some type of call to action. I go for the close, and the close is just pushing them to something. Hey, can I get you in the office this afternoon? We'll sit down and talk about it. Hey, would you like to bring your wife in, and let's go look at the property? Hey, let me send you this. I'm going for some type of close, which is really just pushing them to something. Some people go, look, I've seen enough to make a decision. I'm ready to take action today. I know we want that house. We've looked at it 18 times. You follow me? Great. Well, let's draw this puppy up and get you going, right? Because the faster we take action. So I use a script, and the reason I use that script is because I'm trying to get in a rhythm. I'm trying to give myself confidence on my calls. So we'll go through that script with you, especially if you make outbound calls. People have an interest, and you're calling out to them. And we teach our salespeople to look at that script while they're going through it. If you're coaching new agents, I have them right there in front of me. So my team's making that, hey, this is Eric from Michael Burt Enterprises. Is this a good time to talk? Great. Let me tell you the purpose of the call. Okay, you emailed in about Coach Burt's book, $1 Million Follow-Up, blah, blah, blah. Have you had a chance to read it yet? No, I don't. I hadn't read it. I understand. Let me give you the best parts of it. Okay, at Michael Burt Enterprises, we believe in working with this, this, and this. Okay, we do this, this, and this. If I could get you a seat in Coach Burt's next class for free, would it be valuable for you? Oh, yes, it would. Okay, great. Now we've generated a lead. Now we've generated interest. Now we've jabbed, right? They may come to the class and like it. Have you seen enough to take action? No, not yet. Seems like a lot of money. No worries. Coach Burt's doing a free webinar on this. See how I'm pushing them? And then when we keep pushing them to that point, then it's going to be, look, have you seen enough to make a decision? You've seen him speak 3 times. You read his books. Imagine being coached by him every day. So what's going to happen is then they say, well, I can't afford it. I always have another product for them. Oh, well, you can't afford $3.99 a month or whatever the case may be. Then, you know, we can do this. We can get you here. That's called nonlinear selling. Like if I go at you and I only try to sell you one thing, but it don't work, now I'm out. I'd never go to a person like that. I come at you and I listen and discover. I do my discovery, and then I go, oh, she don't need that. What she needs is this. You understand what I'm saying? Now, how does that look in real estate? So let me give you a good example. So I did not buy that property. I made a $1.1 million offer. Thank the good Lord that they did not accept it. And so then, that doesn't have to be done. The agent I was working with could still continue to send me other properties. You understand what I'm saying? They may say, look, coach, you didn't want to buy it at 1.1, but I found 4 other ones that are this price that we could do this with. I found one that's already been through the zoning. You understand what I'm saying? Don't stop. Keep jabbing. Keep jabbing. Okay, you didn't buy this? I found you this. Oh, you don't like that? I found you this. You don't like that? No worries. And that's the problem with real estate agents is they didn't get it, okay? And they just shut down. You got to just keep going, guys. You got to keep going, okay? All right, let me close this puppy up with a few things. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I do something at 3 p.m. I do a 20 or 30-minute coaching session that I live stream, which means anybody in the world can jump on there. Okay, and it's at CoachBurt.com.
Is that Central Time?
Central. We're on Central here, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So CoachBurt.com/live. This is a GoToMeeting. So if you don't have GoToMeeting on your computer, it'll force you to download that. But it's typically me in a studio. Tomorrow I'll be finishing up with the real estate team in Nashville. And so I'll do it live from there, like I may be teaching them something, or it's me in front of a computer. It's typically 30 to 50 people on that, and I'll do some teaching. Okay, I'll do some teaching. You can ask me any question you want to ask me. You can say, I don't understand this. You can chime in. If you want me to see your camera, you can turn your camera on where I can see. A lot of people don't, but you can. And you can jump on that, and I do that every Tuesday and Thursday. If I'm speaking somewhere in the world, then my head of sales does it, and he's very, very good. He's actually a lot more scripted than I am. So he teaches it. So if you need a booster, then this is a great thing for you to jump on every Tuesday and Thursday. Everybody understand? Okay?
We could put that up, have it going in the.
You could. That's exactly right. Now, some real estate teams, here's how they do it. Some real estate teams get together and watch it together, and then they hold each other accountable to that. So if you want to start little groups that do that, they watch it together, and then they go, what are you doing with what Coach Burt told you? That's an accountability. So some of you need more accountability. You need to say, look, I need to be watching that every Tuesday and Thursday, okay? But this is a way to keep you in a forward posture. You will, how many people are already getting emails from me? Anybody in here? Okay? If you're not, we make sure we'll kind of turn those loose a little bit more this week since we've gotten started. We hold them back a little bit until we get you started because we don't want to overwhelm you, okay? Because I have a tendency to overwhelm people. So starting this week, you'll start getting more emails. You'll start getting more updates. You'll start getting emails. They'll come from me, info@CoachBurt.com, and there'll be follow-up. So I'll send a follow-up to Brenda and your team. There'll be ways that we follow up with you. But here's a way between now and the next time I come for you to get coaching 2 times a week, every single week with me for 20 or 30 minutes, okay? And our goal is to keep you in a forward posture. Everybody with me here?
Are those unique classes, both Tuesday and Thursday, are different?
They're different, yes. Yep. Typically Tuesday's all on selling, Thursday's more on mindset. So on Thursday, this month I've been working on like what's wrong with your business. Okay, let's identify what's wrong with your business. So I'll pick an area of your business that's messed up. Tuesday's always on selling. But a lot of people jump on there every Tuesday and Thursday. So you really got a chance to get coached by me 9 times in a month, okay, if you want it. The only other thing I got is I have a podcast called Super Coach on iTunes, Stitcher Radio. It's 2 words, Super Coach. Okay, so you want to get that. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, search Coach Michael Burt. And hit subscribe. That means every time I do a video, it'll let you know. And I do a lot of videos in a week. We film a lot of stuff. When I'm on the bus, I do little mini segments. And there's a little documentary stuff. And there's all kinds of stuff that I just push out to the market. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there's, I think, almost 1,000 videos on there. So you can get coaching every morning, every night. I love when I meet, I had a husband come up to me the other night. And he said, man, I'm so sick of listening to you. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, my wife listens to Coach Burt when she wakes up, and she listens to Coach Burt before she goes to bed. And he said, I love you, man, but man, I hear you everywhere, okay? And my point is, I put out so much content that you can literally speed up the growth with me if you will get in there and watch this other stuff with me, okay? And so it's a lot of stuff. I do the show with my wife called Living with the Monster. I'm doing that this afternoon. And what we're talking about is how you can't have an extraordinary life if you do ordinary things.
And that's Facebook Live?
That's Facebook Live. So just search Michael Burt. You can type Michael Burt is my Facebook Live, and it's public. So everything I do, you can see it. And a lot of people like that show because it's nothing worse than going to work in a day and really trying to be good and then going home and kind of getting your confidence beat up at home. And so my wife and I are on the same page about a lot of these things. We'll probably get into discussion about this discussion we had last night. But my point is, you know, my wife and I push each other. We don't want to have an ordinary life. We want to live an extraordinary life. And to do that, we can't make ordinary decisions. So she's very one way, and I'm very one way. And the point is, it don't always come in a box. That's the title of today's show. A success don't come in a box with a bow around it. Okay? And sometimes it's after hours and weekends, and we get into all that, how she handles that, how we handle it together. Okay? In the back?
What time is the Facebook Live?
3:30 this afternoon. So a lot of people will want their spouses to watch it. You know, they'll tag their spouse and say, you really need to watch this, you know. But it's a good little show that I do for husbands and wives. And I'm doing stuff like that all the time, guys. I'm constantly pumping out content, okay? Any questions? Okay, so today was the first of many sessions. Every month I'm coming back, so you're not getting rid of me, okay? We're going to get better and better and better and better. What's our commitments from today? Call times, outbound, yes or no? How many people commit to that? Raise your hand. Brenda, look at all these people. Okay, look at them. They're committing. No dabbling in the back row seats. Come on, girls. We're not dabbling anymore. We're deciding, okay? And we're going to go to work on our lead machine, and we're going to go to work on our EOS. When we come back next time, I'd like to hear some of your EOSs. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? What do you do? How do you do it different? Who are you doing it for? Okay? And then ask. I would like to just hear some of them, okay? Give me your EOS, okay? Yes, ma'am.
If they have questions during the month,
Yeah, info@coachburt.com. Any question you got for me, info@coachburt.com, and I will get back to you. You're going to have questions. That's part of the coaching process. Okay, just email me, info@coachburt.com. I don't understand this, I don't understand this, I'd like help on this. A lot of times I'll say I've done a video on this, we'll send it to you. Okay? But our goal is month after month after month after month. We're just going to make you better and better and better, and you're going to be little trained machines when I get done with you, okay? And then you know what's going to happen? You're going to dominate this area. It's going to be really, really cool, okay? So thank you, guys. God bless you.